We are live. Let me find my live stream in YouTube real quick. View my channel. Okay. All right, so our session 0 started. Welcome everyone. I'm David, and with me today we have Dom and Nico.
Hey.
Yeah. So we're starting a ShadowDark campaign. I haven't been on YouTube in a while. I have my Mithras game going. I have one more session I want to upload. I was dealing with some corrupted files and things. I need to upload that. And that campaign might take a pause for a while. We'll see. But I'm starting this up, ShadowDark. So yeah, I kind of explained some of the things in the Discord, what I was thinking about. Let me open that up real quick. So, like I was saying, I was thinking I actually don't have much in mind for a game concept. The main thing I was kind of thinking is whatever you guys want to do is what I want to facilitate. And my idea was kind of like classic D&D sandbox. Like I've done D&D before, but now that I've got 4D under my belt, I want to go back and do it the right way, almost. Like I know
the idyllic way.
Yeah. To me, it's the right way because that. That's how I am.
Role-playing game.
It's what you think that you were doing, but you weren't. So you want to go back to do what you thought you were going to do.
Exactly. And I know, what do you call it? D&D is referred to as kitchen sink fantasy. It has a bad rap, and for good reason. And we like more distinctive, narrower settings sometimes. And I like those too. I love those. But I kind of like the kitchen sink fantasy, and I kind of want to go back to that. I like the idea of just anything can happen.
Yeah.
You don't know what's around the corner. So I like that.
I think
that's the basic pitch, I guess.
I think kitchen sinks are cool, especially when the things within the sink still have their own identity. If you have a kitchen sink, but everything in the sink is the same flavor of gray paste, then it doesn't matter what it is, because it just looks like gray paste. It's like we can have every fantasy race under the sun, but if they're not actually distinguished, then they don't matter.
Yeah. You guys got any other thoughts on at least the basic kind of concept of it, or things you were wanted to bring up?
For this specific game, we were chatting a bit in person earlier today about some pitches, because I was kind of thinking back on the characters that I've been playing, in your when we played Dashed Against the Rocks, I was playing a super bizarro occult kind of guy, even for that kind of world. And in Nicholas in Terra, I'm playing a kind of hoity-toity kind of wizard analogous person in that world. So I was thinking in this game of playing an archetype I often don't, and that's like a straight up thief, a straight up just
that would be fun
kind of person.
Okay.
And Nico.
Yeah.
Nico.
Yeah. Did you have any thoughts on a character or thing? Ideas on the pitch or anything?
As far as character, he mentioned we had talked about, and I have a couple ideas. I'm usually stuck with playing fighter man, though I try to, distinguish each one, of course, because people are more than just swinging a sword. But the current concepts that I was thinking of, one is I don't usually play a mage race or a magical being, and I didn't. As far as looking at the rules go, there wasn't a direct way of facilitating it, But anyways, old idea based off Divination Wizard, where that's of course just the mechanic. It's like, oh well, I foretold this in the morning, and actually that die is a 17 instead of a 2. But
Oh yeah,
yeah, taking that concept of like more of like a seer character, someone who's having like these visions, which I believe the 4D just method of play would accommodate more, rather than really relying on just the mechanics of it. That would be the more complicated one to do.
Yeah, you're still kind of retaining the typical session zeroism of the GM retains the ability to kind of white out whatever you added, whatever you 4D, because of misconstruing things. Which having a profit, that's perfect for that.
Well, no,
absolutely,
because I wasn't going to say it's like, oh yeah, my word is truth. It's like, okay, well, this is what my character is interpreting, and things could be completely different or just not quite, as he's interpreting just the information outside the scope of what he has.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a cool idea.
The other one a bit more simple, but like has more of the why or more reason to be adventuring, because that's what Dom had mentioned earlier. Because most sane people or people who have a steady living, they're not going to go out venturing into some dungeon or risk their lives on a daily basis if they don't have to. But that concept would be just like just a minor like exiled like noble. It's like, well, I can't go home, I have to make a living, and I also justifies I have basic experience like combat, so I have some sort of use that I can offer and hopefully try to get money out of. Something like that.
You go out into the world and seek your fortune.
Yep.
Well, forced out into the world and got to survive.
Yeah, especially depending on like where he is exiled. This is other exiled character idea. I think that would be a good tie-in to a crooked thief being like, oh, I know what you need. You know what I mean? Like you listen to me, and we'll get you what you need. We're gonna go here. We're gonna talk to these people. Yeah, they're gonna send into some scary hole, but we're gonna get money out of that hole.
Yeah.
And you're desperate.
Yeah. That's a cool idea. Go ahead, Nico. Sorry.
Well, I just agree with him. Like, relatively so. It's like, okay, well, I have a limited set of skills. I have nowhere else to go, and I need someone to kind of help me along with wherever we are.
And that brand that notes you, that birthmark, that your color of your hair, people don't trust your kind of people. So I trust you.
Well,
you can't just be a farmer out here.
Yeah, it has to be so I might have like a bit of an accent, like just looks distinctive, dresses a bit distinctive because that's the clothes he has on his back. So,
Dom, your thief is reminding me of like Genie from Aladdin. Oh, you never had a friend like me, Or like I don't know why I'm thinking of Disney movies of all things, of like the bear from Jungle Book. Like, I'll teach you how to
bear necessities.
Yeah, I'll teach you the bare necessities. Okay. So the most important thing for characters, I think, is the goal and the motivation behind the goal.
Money.
So would you say it's money in both of you guys' case? If you go with the noble and the thief?
In some abstract sense, if we're leaning, that was kind of like my rambling to Nico earlier about like ShadowDark mechanically, like as far as advancement is concerned, that's kind of what it leans into. Is that like you're a fucking crazy person for doing this? So
there's reason behind it.
Yeah.
In this case,
unless if we wanted to stray away from money being the goal.
Well, I see that as more just like the base need. You need these resources, and reluctantly or otherwise, or perhaps my character more so reluctantly than you, it's like, okay, well, I can't just stand there and be served, hand and foot. I have to go out there seeking these opportunities and earning some sort of living, like it or not. So
You know,
that is the base need. And maybe more of base one is like, I do want to try to return to that sort of like comfortable life one way or another, whether by accruing money or maybe finding a way back if there's ever an opportunity for some reason, like, a new claimant, like, is trying to press their throne or whatever, or their claim to the throne.
And having the resources to even make it back
home
at that point after your exile.
I feel so bad, but admittedly I got a bit distracted there because I realized I didn't share the stream, so I did that just now. But I'm sorry, you're saying something about your noble.
Just when pursuing the money,
the base need,
the obsession, but it is
the necessity. Yeah, because otherwise, they'll starve, waste away, and
I can't pay for travel.
He's not at that point yet, where it's like, oh well, damn it all, I will just waste away, spend on booze or whatever. It's like, no, I want to come back from come back from like the brink. I'm exiled, but that's not how it has to stay. I can make something of my life still, as bad as it has become at this point.
Okay, got it. Absolutely. Yeah, those are great goals. Those are great ambitions.
As far as for the thief, I kind of, because ShadowDark does have like the it has its classic AD&D firsty, was the first? No, it was BX. The triple, law, chaos, neutrality axis. I like the idea of playing like a chaotic, because I thought it was kind of funny. It's like playing an ambitious character is one indicative of chaos. Like I guess I would be ambitious. I don't know if I want to lean into the religious character. That seems like that'd be a third time where a character of mine has religious predilections now.
Yeah, I wouldn't require that at all.
But the idea of playing a character who worships a chaotic god of ambition is appealing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't want to play the tragic, like, oh no, I need to get this money for the orphans. No, I don't. But I've also never played with and I'm not against that. I've never played with the idea of like, I want to create my own criminal empire. So I got to get this cash so I can pay people to go into these holes for me and then have that cycle. I'm not against that idea. I think it's appealing.
Yeah. So kind of starting low and wanting to get up there.
Exactly, like playing as the person, being someone who is like who is ambitious. I'm not against it. I think that'll work well with the idea of teaming up with a nobleman, because it's like, yeah, I'm gonna help you, and all you got to do later is just put a good word in for me. Oh, you remember when I saved your lives those several times? Yeah, when you get your throne back or you get your position back, just put a blind eye to me and my crew. That kind of stuff.
I know the bonuses are not everything, but it would be funny if your character's got like -4 charisma or something. You never know. We'll see. One thing I was gonna say, you mentioned the ShadowDark mechanics kind of facilitate the money through advancement. I guess I didn't really put this in the pitch, but I was kind of thinking of ignoring things like gold to XP or whatever. And we could either these are just my thoughts, either do it where you have to like role play your training to level up, whether that's practicing by yourself or going to find a teacher, or just like after a few sessions or an adventure or something, level up.
Sure.
What do you guys think about that?
Whatever you're really comfortable with hosting, really. Like I think that the way that the game is kind of set up is for the dungeon crawling kind of bit. It is for being the daring, the sick in the head person who is willing to do like ludicrous shit.
Yeah.
I think that money serves a pretty good goal there. What about you, Nico?
Sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second.
Do you want to stick with the idea of money as advancement, or do you want to change it up to?
That's what I was gonna say. Kind of like when he's talking about it's like kind of role playing your training. I was thinking back to when we were doing the 6 season Sartar campaign. That being like, you know, depending on the general like span of time that passes, whether this is over a few days, weeks, months, or years even. Because, you know, we're not going to role play every single second of every single day. If there are lapses in time, that's when you have like, you know, our downtime activities. That's when we're training and potentially getting said experience. If we want to do something akin to that, depending on at least the in-world passage of time, if this is more shorter period of time or longer period of time over years.
Yeah,
depending on our scope.
Absolutely.
If it was like a length of time too, that would work out pretty well, because the way that ShadowDark does its XP system is in increments of 10. So it could be something as simple as X number of weeks or months or what have you. So if we allow for this set of time to pass with no travel, no nothing, you're in place, and this place has somebody or it has a facility for you to train effectively in, then that counts towards the week. That gives you an XP or what have you.
Okay.
Yeah. As for the, I guess the general adventuring, I'm not against like, you know, I guess going into dungeons and such. It isn't necessarily what it has to be, because I've never played this system. And when it comes to Dom like introducing me to like the 4D role playing, like we've done like, you know, fairly, I guess, relatively like complex and potentially mechanically dense systems, but how many times do we actually roll in those games? Like I don't, other than like like the runes, for example, in RuneQuest, which like, you know, actually matter and can factor into the role playing and how things are portrayed and shown.
They're like the augments.
Yeah, I just see the system as like, okay, well, we need some sort of like basis as far as like, you know, under times of duress, like, you know, when to roll. Like, you know, if I'm on a time crunch and really trying to like, you know, for example, pick this lock or whatever, or stuff like that.
So that was more of an inquiry about when rolls will be prompted, like the frequency of rolling.
No, not so much an inquiry. That was just in reference to the like what we want to do on the campaign. If we're just trying to go to the dungeons and to get money, regarding you talking about, that's kind of what it's framed for. I'm just saying necessarily we're not confined to just that, I guess, in synopsis.
I have similar thoughts. So I acknowledge ShadowDark is kind of wants you to go on the dungeons like every time. And I know the idea you should play to the strengths of the system you're using. For me, the reason I'd want to play ShadowDark is because pretty much everyone knows how to play that, and it's simple and you can get it started easy. And I don't necessarily need it to be every session's a dungeon or anything like that. They can absolutely be there, and as you know, thieves, you guys are for sure probably gonna seek some out.
Yeah, and also depends on how you frame like dungeon, or for like, you know, sneaking into like, you know, a manor or something like that. Because there can still be locks or maybe a trap / alarm system. Yeah, treasure. Like reframing the setting of said dungeon, but still having those like, I guess, just expectations and mechanics in place where it plays similarly.
Yeah.
Like,
Go ahead.
you got it.
Does that kind of all put us on the same page or not?
I guess my thing is like, what are, if not for that, if not for seeking treasure and that being the focus of the game, what would your alternative vision be for the game, David?
Well, I mean, that's what you guys probably are, thieves or treasure hunters or adventure seekers. So I imagine that's a lot of what you guys are going to be doing.
Yeah,
so I guess that is the focus for you guys.
Just general opportunists. We might not be just doing like dungeons, just trying to get tips and like just determining what's out there. It's like, okay, well, how can we make this quick buck, or at least be able to survive till like the next day, hopefully with a full stomach and all that.
Like if there's an opportunity to pull a fast one on somebody in between dungeons or something, like I don't want to limit those opportunities. You know what I mean?
Or even like a short stint, like a mercenary company, or just like going on like a raid or something, depending on where we are, or what the local culture is. For example, like in the RuneQuest, there's like cattle raiding. That's the first thing that came to mind. Shut up.
Look at the cows.
But that is a part of like the culture, to show your like strength and your competence. This isn't like a war of annihilation. It's just, okay, we're going in to steal their resources, might rough them up a bit. Yeah, maybe someone will die. But yeah, it's like, taking resources for our benefit.
Yeah.
And it's a cultural warfare.
Yeah, it's a show of force. It's like, if we can sneak into your land and we can take what isn't ours, then
what does that say about you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So having I like that. I like that analogy, because it is, prompting the opportunity for atypical situations. I like the idea of an atypical opportunity.
Yeah, and depending on, I guess, what you have a general idea of, like, setting, for example, like medieval Ireland also had like, the cattle raids and stuff like that. That was, their economy.
Yeah.
Or their livelihood. So
any number, especially if we're going with the idea of this is like an exiled land, then like we can get really weird with it, because why is this fantasy Australia? What is making this messed up place?
It might not necessarily be exiled land, but it could be Australia, or even France. Like English nobles would escape to France or Ireland, or not in the immediate vicinity of the people who might want them dead.
Oh, absolutely. But like, I'd imagine that there was like it's probably fair. That's probably more realistic.
We could be on like a smaller, like, island, or an Irish equivalent, where it might not be as developed. It's easier to kind of get lost in like the general sparseness of it.
Absolutely.
And whatever you guys are kind of thinking on that.
You guys like the idea of traveling a lot? A lot of wilderness, or like town to town, things like that? Or just stay where you're at?
Points of light, as the cool kids say.
Yeah.
The points of light settings.
Yeah, and that would also probably be us, like, just trying to find out where these opportunities are. It's like, oh, well, maybe they are in the next town, or maybe we got to go ways, but it's worth it, we swear.
Yeah.
Was it David?
I like the idea of points of light. It's kind of like the Horizon campaign, but you're not necessarily leaving automatically. It's you try and get your next big break, or whatever you call it, and then when it's time to skedaddle, you get out of there before you get annihilated by the King's army or whatever.
And blend back in the local population.
Yeah, I think that dynamic would be really interesting, because it's the points of light for a reason, and then we have the nobleman or the priest, even if you're playing the prophet, who isn't necessarily there for everyone's benefit because they have limited resources. But there's the contrary of, well, the little devil on your shoulder is gonna be like, yeah, let's just go ahead and fucking make this place a bit worse. You know what I mean? It was a point of light, but if we can get what we need and leave, that might be, you know,
Yeah,
we're not gonna be here forever.
Yeah, my guy's not necessarily tied to this land, and maybe you might be a bit more tied to a town or there's a few more people and just the general locality. But I see my guys kind of in survival mode, like autopilot. It's like, yeah, maybe I do have to do a few things I wouldn't do normally, but like, I got to make it somehow.
I like the idea of playing the charlatan that might know a little bit, but I don't know if I like the idea of somebody who's born here in this exiled land. Like, if I like the idea that I was exiled too, probably for more sensible reasons, less political, or maybe escaped here, sentenced to death, ran the only place he could. But I don't know if I think there's opportunity if I'm local. Like, if I'm local, then that leaves me open to maybe 4D things, but I don't know what we want.
Or you could have you could have escaped here a few years ago or something, got somewhat embedded, or at least
a little bit,
know people, know the general locality where you're at, as opposed to me, who's a relative newcomer, might have been here a few months. Yeah, maybe years, depending on how we want to do that.
Yeah, and Dom, you still be able to 4D a lot, even just being there a couple of years. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's still space to be mystery.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
I kind of like the idea of like almost like you were saying, fantasy Australia, like almost alien.
Yeah.
Mysterious things around every corner, kind of deal.
Wildlife trying to kill us.
Yeah, I can imagine the first Australian settlers like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
those spiders.
And a fist fight a kangaroo.
Yeah. There was a man. He was jumping towards me. I didn't quite get a good look.
Can ride the spiders like horses.
But as far as mixing some neat monsters in there, that could be a good inspiration. Just fantasy.
So if you guys are trying to get money, that means people, or I guess it could mean dragon hordes or hordes from mythical creatures. But
like said creatures like could be valuable.
Yeah. So like creatures that are captured or killed can be valuable. Absolutely. Do we want to go with creatures having treasure or nah?
Maybe some more sentient than others. If you have any ideas on mine, what I was thinking of, for example, the fur trade, just seeing these new exotic creatures, they can be turned into new exotic goods, stuff like that. So people like the nobles back in my guy's homeland, it's like, oh, these are neat, these are rare, I can have it so I can flaunt it, kind of thing.
And depending
on the rarity is valuable.
Depending on how culturally diverse this setting is, it could also be a matter of the place that we're from, or the places, depending on if we're the same land. Maybe it's like our kingdom is like, fuck that place. We don't know what the fuck's going on there. We send guys there, they die. But maybe it's because of the way that they enter or something bizarre, and they aren't familiar with it. Or maybe point being that there might be other kingdoms that have successfully made their settlements. So it's still being built up, not by our guys because we're being sent there as exiles, but there are some other kingdoms that have recognized the opportunity this place has.
More developed, coastal cities.
Yeah.
Kind of like Spain coming over to the New World. You have St. Augustine, for example, Cuba. Or Havana in Cuba, stuff like that. Not these major metropolises, but the signs of civilization. Settlements are up and coming.
Whereas there might be, monster men or the Aboriginals, whatever they may be, that are we don't like you here, kind of thing. Yeah. Get off our land.
Yeah, or maybe it is just the creatures. No one's been able to settle here because of these creatures or something, the more mean and nasty ones.
And like you said, David, the idea of and like to combine the idea, maybe it was like the idea that there are valuable native species here that are being hunted.
Mhm.
That's a big place for cash, but
Yeah,
also that there might have also been like an fantasy world ancient kingdom that has fallen on this island, and
Yeah.
Yes.
that whole situation.
So do we want to go with that? It's an island.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's a good point. I don't know.
We definitely can, or we
Yeah.
definitely could not.
It makes
Either
sense. It doesn't have to be super isolated
Mhm.
like Australia or anything like that. Like, it's probably within reasonable enough distance that we got there.
Mhm.
Yeah, it might have been a few trips, had to stop in a few ports while trying to make distance from like, wherever we hail from.
Mhm.
Because like, back in the day, like, even shorter like
Oh yeah,
even shorter distances, like, compared to today, you know, still a perilous journey. You can't get there as quickly, like, on a
that's a good
medieval
point.
boat versus now.
That's a good point. We might have even been exiled. It might be the kind of thing where like we were exiled, or are otherwise outcasts, but not to here. But we have come here because of its
Yeah.
opportunity.
Okay, so it's not an exile island,
Maybe.
but you're
Not
you
necessarily,
could be.
but like, for people like me, because I'm not the only noble just person who would have been like exiled. Same thing with like, persecuted or just persecuted peoples that might need a place to fucking flee to.
Mhm.
So a lot of
So there
people
could
end
be
up
that
there.
cultural melting pot, which is kind of like a refugee like community, but like also like as Dom was saying, these kingdom or like imperial like developed towns and settlements focused on like profiting on this maybe newly discovered land, or that they're finally able to get a foothold in there for one reason or another. Um, Stuff like that.
Okay. Absolutely. And as far as the people who are natives there, are we thinking like tribal people? Or
They could be
me
like
probably. If
like
it's a
Dom
place
reference. Go ahead.
if it's a place that nobody wants to go to, I don't think anyone's building up kingdoms there. It's just the remnants of the ancient kingdom.
Mhm.
Yeah, but there could be like some last like holdouts or something. Like they don't necessarily have to be primitive. Maybe they're still isolationist or something like that.
Okay.
Like just like in holdouts, like maybe deep within the territory or on the opposite coast of the territory.
Okay. Where do you guys want to take this tone as far as like grounded versus fairy tale? Maybe somewhere in the middle, more grounded. I don't know.
With us being humans, I think that's kind of like sky's the limit. Like where we would be coming in from a very grounded point from ourselves, more than likely. But then this place is like the alien, like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really hard for you, especially to I don't know your background, but for me, it would be very hard for me to try to like, if we're going to be engaging with anything like fairy tale, and this is like a aboriginal, this is a Australian outback shamanistic kind of society, they would be like, that'd be weird, there'd be some like strange, fairy tale, strange myth going on here that we would encounter, and that could be that. I mean, that's fucking that excites me, but I can imagine it'd be very difficult to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even if it's more on the grounded side, there's absolutely going to be lots of crazy tales about this place.
Yeah, also just
for sure.
just the cultural differences and like myths between them, practices, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like there can be a lot of variety despite still being like relatively grounded.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely,
just taking inspiration from our own world.
It has like, I think there was like one OSR concept of like the deeper you go into the dungeon, the freakier and more unreal it becomes. Like kind of like tapping into the myths of the Greek myths and stuff like that. I like the idea of that being the case, but being a vertical thing of you going deeper into the outback the freakier it becomes.
Yeah. I like that. So I think, yeah, definitely lots of freaky stuff, lots of crazy creatures and magical effects or whatever. I don't know if I do like fairy tale logic. No, like it'd be like if those crazy tales were real. They're still it's like grounded, but it's still crazy. Am I making any sense?
Yeah, or I thought just more like that fantastical like creatures, right? Like as he was like mentioning like Greek myth, like the Medusa or the Gorgons,
Yeah,
Minotaurs, stuff like that. Stuff
we
that
can have.
we probably wouldn't be used to, or at least maybe my character, more relatively civilized land doesn't have a lot of those monstrosities wandering about. Like maybe they were taken care of centuries ago if they ever existed in the first place. Stuff like that, or just like what is it? Not culture shock, but I don't know.
Nicholas was asking, what if the island is spell locked? No magic works there. Well,
I don't think you were trying to completely eliminate magic on the initial post, like a medium.
Yeah. Yeah, more like medium. One of the things I was saying was I've been doing a lot of grounded stuff with little or no magic, which I love. But now I want there to be some fantastical stuff.
I had a this was actually for the foam fighty thing. For the foam fighty thing that we did, I had my lore, which was on Not Japan. And a meme with the setting is that there were these ancient kingdoms, or rather, it was a magical setting, but then they entrapped the force of destruction in the Phoenix that was destroying the world. But in doing so, they also cut off the setting's magic. So the meme with my landmass that I was writing was that all like the ancient, beautiful floating cities that were all here, came crashing down and stuff. So talking about anti-magic, I like the idea that like maybe there are some of these civilizations, some of these people might have like anti-magic zones. Like they might have like there might be like a weird twist where like there are pockets of the Westerner, the foreigner magic doesn't work here. Our spirits cut them off. We eliminate them.
And that could have been partially like why this previous empire had fallen. Maybe it was heavily magic dependent, and some cataclysm triggered these no magic like zones.
Also why
stuff like that.
Also why for whatever reason this place is refusing to be cultivated. Our wizards, we just can't go in there. Like there are some areas that we tried to scry, but it don't work. That kind of stuff.
I guess maybe this island has like a reputation of being like cursed for that reason. Where it's like, oh, magic doesn't work here. Yeah, I don't think we want to handle this. This isn't right. And maybe even like the gods can't quite communicate when it comes to the priest's abilities.
I mean, like across the board, but like there might be
like dead zones almost.
Dead zones, yeah.
I especially like the idea of what you guys are saying, because like if a priest, you mentioned that island to the priest and he's like, God doesn't even look at that place.
Yeah.
Don't go there. God is not there. That's a cool idea. Let me get some mechanical points and get these out of the way.
Oh, that is a question on Dom and I had earlier, just regarding stats. Did you want us to just roll, down the line, or just roll and just place them in as needed or as we want?
So, what I like to do myself is just roll down the line, and even if your stat sucks for what class you want to do, it's fine, because like you get a bonus and it brings it up a little bit. I'm fine with it, but what do you guys want to do?
I'm cool with it. I mean, I think that like my idea could hypothetically work for any class at this point. He's a thief, whatever, and it would be really sexy for me to play a character that has, stealth and stuff like that. But if I can't, then I can't. And even then, the way ShadowDark works, I can still roll to do those things. I just get advantage if I'm a thief.
Yeah.
And that's what we were talking about. It's like, well, because like in the book, it's like just down the line. It's like we're not against those, like that idea, but might just mean we kind of have to alter what we're going for. But I'm not against it. If that's
With
what
you have
wanna
2
do.
character ideas, so you're more.
Yeah, like
you're already in
one
there.
dies, bring the next.
Yep. I meant more so like
Somehow.
if you know,
Or yeah,
You
go
can pick.
with one if that's
Yeah.
more flavored.
stat. Yeah.
But if it's going really bad, at least they got the backup.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't
Yeah.
go well.
I like it going down the line.
Sure.
And because your bonuses, even if you got like a negative in the thing you wanted, you could probably bring it up. You probably won't have a negative. I don't know. Even
What are
if
you
referencing
there?
Well, I have to look at the book to tell you specifically, but
Sure.
at least for like the couple fighters I've played, even if I've got like a 10 or something.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
I gain a couple levels and then up my strength a bit, and it's fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me.
Because I've never actually played ShadowDark myself. The same idea applies, right? Where everything is kind of as written. We're gonna roll up our initial talent, and when we level, we get the one rolled talent. We're not picking talents or anything like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
And you said you wanted to stick with us as humans, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's fine with me.
I'm not opposed to the idea of like you pick another race so you can get that ability and then just still say you're human.
Or functionally human. At
Functionally,
that point.
yeah.
I've just got a bit of goblin in my family. No.
No. Yeah, that's me. Like I'm like I want to do some fantastical, but I still want to keep it humans as the PCs because I like those fantastical things, but I want them to be things that are out there that you go find.
Yeah.
That's my preference anyway.
Yeah, and that seems to be kind of the tone of what we're going for, like, from the mundane of like, our homelands into this more fantastical realm island place.
Yeah, for sure.
The idea of playing as human kingdoms coming in and investigating a foreign island is significantly less cool when you consider like, oh, I'm an elf, and I remember when we looked at your land first. Oh, this reminds me of the time. Like, okay.
Yeah.
This is like an exciting frontier town, but now it's fucking lame.
Like you're just looking at him like you suck. God. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, you probably already said this, but are we starting off at level 1 or 0?
I like to just start at 1.
Cool.
I don't know how much level ups we'll be doing because it might be relatively short. I said 1 to 10 sessions. I think I don't know.
Range.
I know it's a wide range.
Yeah.
Anything could happen though. We'll see. Maybe like a couple level ups in there.
I guess just whatever feels natural.
Yeah.
I would assume we'd end up falling somewhere in the middle. Let's say like 5, 6, maybe 4. So somewhere in that mid range. Unless things just conclude like before that, or maybe take a few extra. Which fine with me.
Yeah, we'll see. So I've only read core. If you guys want to use a race or class or whatever outside of core, just show it to me.
Right.
And then the only race in core that the only thing is like the halfling. If you choose, like it lets you turn invisible for 3 rounds once a day. To me, at least to me, I'm like, what? Why do you put that? So I would just put like +5 to your hiding and moving quietly just all the time. But what do you guys think? It only matters if you pick halfling anyway.
I was just gonna go with the human.
Yeah, human's fine with me.
Okay, then forget that.
Yeah.
But thank you for the option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think as written is fine. I think that if I zoomed in on like, ooh, if I'm like a fighter, I can play a half orc and get the +1. I'm like, okay. I might as well just roll fighter and then maybe get the +1 from the talent, you know?
Okay.
Something I did want to ask though, would you be? I haven't looked at them yet, but you know, I am a fan of like Lamentations. Would you be against a class from Lamentations of the Flame Princess?
I haven't looked at it. I'd probably just want to use ShadowDark, honestly. But I mean, if you show it to me, we could see.
Yep. Yeah, I'll build the ShadowDark character as is and see what lands. And if I'm like, oh, this is kind of neat, I'll pitch it to you between game.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm gonna start rolling up these stats.
I'm trying to bring up my dice.
Yeah. We'll lean co-creation heavy, which would be really easy to do where we're playing. I think that'll be really fun.
Absolutely.
What else? Okay. So let's see.
Where is my dice at?
I don't think you guys are playing magic characters, so the spell points thing doesn't matter. And then yeah, so taking damage to Constitution if you're like exhausted, suffocating, or bleeding. That's an idea I had. Like if you've been marching all day long, like roll a con check.
Yeah, like
If you fail, take
circumstantial stuff.
D6 con damage. You know, or if like you're swimming and you run out of breath, roll D6 con damage until you get out of the water.
That or just take negatives to like the skill check. Like for example, we're trying to swim. You know, the more exhausted you get, you know, the harder it gets. Just upping the difficulty rather than taking damage up until the point you start drowning.
I think this would be the alternative to express that instead of needing to bookkeep the negatives.
Yeah.
I like it. I think damage is fine. Like it's a bit extreme, but it also kind of colors the theme, which is cool.
Yeah.
I know ShadowDark is purposefully pretty simple, straightforward, and I don't want to flub things up, you know.
Yeah.
But there's some things I'm like, there's nothing in here on this, so I want to put something for exhaustion.
Yeah, and I think just taking the damage. Taking the damage in a game where healing is slow replaces the typical D&D exhaustion mechanics.
I see. You want to stick to like taking HP damage?
Yeah, I like the idea of taking HP damage because that's representing, because it's already slow that you're healing. So in a D&D game, in a 5e game rather, you have a different exhaustion meter that now in 2024 is just the -1, -1, -1. But it's like me growing closer to death is already expressing through HP loss that I'm going to die if I keep this up. Because like I'd imagine if I just got stabbed and I have the wound from a stabbing that and I'm walking through a desert, that I am more likely to fucking give up and fucking drop dead through exhaustion because because of the blood loss. Hypothetically. Likewise, drowning.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, we could do that. Okay, so I like the idea of like adding a mechanic for like spirits. If you're like capturing one inside a fetish, like a tribal, what do you call those things?
Totem.
Or like a totem, yeah. And it's like Ghostbusters, you know. I was thinking if you do that, it really shouldn't happen at once. It should take a few rounds, like you're trying to capture the spirit or, you know, banish the spirit. It doesn't happen all at once, you know. You see those scenes in like Supernatural or something where it takes a long time and there's lots of tension and somebody else is like shooting with a gun or whatever while all that's going on at the same time. So my idea with those is like dealing like a d6 plus your wisdom mod damage to that spirit's wisdom score, and then once it goes to 0, you banish it or you capture it with the totem.
Is that taking it all from Mithras?
It's I don't remember.
Okay.
I probably animism's hard.
Similar rules.
Yeah, it might be something like that.
I
think animism's the longest magic system chapter. I'm like,
just because you're building the spirit and shit. I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's very cool. And I don't know if you guys would even end up in one of those situations, but if that's something we want to do, I think that it's an easy way to do it. Just d6 damage until the score goes to 0.
I like it.
Okay.
Alrighty. I rolled up the most generic man possible. So
hell yeah.
Yep. -1 in intelligence and charisma, and a +2 to constitution. So I could play whatever I want with these stats.
Yeah. There you go. Oh, are you guys using a ShadowDarklings? This is character generator.
No,
ShadowDarklings.net. I didn't. Okay, I didn't.
Bad document.
Okay, yeah, you could do that too. Let me share a link to that. It makes it really easy.
Does this show up?
Well, now my rolls are immortalized on air.
I'm trying to get dice that aren't green.
There you go. I put that in the Discord chat.
Sweet. In
the Discord channel, whatever, sub-channel, I don't know. But yeah, you can you already did your rolls. You can put an edit mode and then you could put those in.
I think it's still green, goddamn.
Do it up.
Nicholas says, I thought you meant spirits as in drinks. Ah, yes. That's the biggest chapter in Mithras.
I will not lose against these spirits.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what the shamans of old were doing.
Yes,
they were just alcoholics.
Do that. All right. Let's try 3.
So, hopefully I don't make y'all lose your concentration. But while you guys are rolling things up, the other mechanical thing I was thinking was a special effect if you beat the DC or AC by 5 or more.
Mm-hmm.
So you describe that effect freely. I trip the guy. I, push the guy off the cliff. I cut off the wing of this creature. Whatever. It's whatever bonus you want to do.
I like it.
The thing with that is to make it not messy, to be like, you don't want to be like, oh, did I beat it by 5 or more? So I'd have to say the DC or the AC of the creature like beforehand. Or like when you describe attacking it, I'll just quickly say AC 15.
Mm-hmm.
And
I like it.
Maybe I can put up reminders on the screen so I don't have to say it every round. Like a little AC 15 thing on my OBS.
I tried doing that for Common Enemy, for the initiative, the way the game uses initiative. Couldn't keep up with it. But if you want to do that, I'm cool with it. I think the
we'll see if I can.
Yep. At a certain point, especially with ShadowDark, I'd imagine that the combats might be over too quick to even worry about it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so yeah, with ShadowDark, I'm like, I want to mess with it, but I don't want to mess with it too much because it's built how it is for a reason. I know.
Do you have any quirky mass combat rules like how Kingmaker did? Or are we safe?
No, I don't. If we did something like that, that is cool. Maybe we could do that.
For this game, I don't know if I'd like it. I just bring it up just to kind of check. For this game, I think that with the survival themes of this desert island, playing as like spontaneous anime characters that can cleave down 15 guys is like, what just happened?
Yeah, you're right on that. My preference, anyway, is to have like usually one big monster at a time.
Yeah.
And yeah.
The DCC thing of I'm not fighting a Minotaur, I'm fighting the Minotaur.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you have to figure out how to defeat. Yeah, so if I do something like make a monster like, I don't know, metallic skin, and it's just immune to damage, flat out.
Yep.
Are you guys gonna feel like, what the heck, man? Or because my thought is like, you have to go out and figure out how to defeat it, or just run away. If I do something like that,
I'm probably misremembering it, but I know it was like it's like a video game-ism of like the monster design is like running exactly. It's the video game design of either the monster is fast, strong, or it has a gimmick.
Yeah.
The boss has all three. The lieutenant might have two.
Mm-hmm.
Point being is that like if the gimmick is it's impervious to damage and it's strong, it's probably slow, so we can run away.
Yeah.
So like it's things like that
and
where
reassess how to handle the situation.
So if it is like, let's just keep hitting it, bro. Like, okay.
Yeah, I'm not hitting these stats, but I believe in you.
What did you get?
Nicholas was saying, oh, the arena has an interactable because he's too strong, so I put a boulder there for you.
Yeah.
My thoughts on a lot of stuff is whatever happens, happens, and I don't think too hard about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to put I probably won't put anything that's just impossible. But if I do, oh well.
Impossible, and we're trapped, and there's like, and we had no say in the situation. We didn't get Job of the Hut. Yeah, we weren't like Job of the Hut. Fucking Rancor pit. We didn't get. We didn't. Like Luke chose to go there. He made the decision. God knows he probably fucking could have sensed the pit, but you know what I mean. Like, this was his situation that he put himself into.
Yeah, that's would be fine.
Yeah, and also like another thing comes from like RuneQuest, where of course like creatures, they're probably just gonna try to kill us, but at least as far as like sentient like potential enemies, well of course RuneQuest, like you have like a ransom, but not everybody's gonna fight to the death, us included, and like you're a common bandit or whatever. If the situation isn't going their way, it's like, okay, this isn't worth my life. This isn't D&D where it's like, okay, well, we're in combat, I can't outrun you, I guess we'll die.
Well, I'll say sometimes you do everything right and you still die in real life. But that kind of sucks for a game, right?
As far as like, I know that I gave you the meme about like playing as people who aren't very sane. They're risking their lives, but this is a desperate area we're in general, so a lot of people here are desperate. It still might be a thing of you killed how many of the natives? Why the fuck did you do that? Like they have neighbors, they have allies. We don't want to fucking see you here. No, in fact, we're gonna fucking make an example of you so that they don't fucking come take out the rest of us. You know what I mean? We're gonna give you to them.
We'll offer them or you to them as a peace offering. Hey, here are these criminals. We don't agree with what they did. Our apologies.
Exactly. Like it's even if it's like these people are savages or so on and so forth. There are still like there's
still diplomacy.
There's still diplomacy. Like they're not. There's no excuse unless like it's a chaos monster where it's like no, there's no reasoning. This is an unholy fucking abomination. We got to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I might be able to use my Monster Island Mithras book for some of this stuff. It's in the beginning. It's got some of the stuff on the different tribes and how they what do you call it? You were just saying like there's politics between the tribes, that kind of deal.
Yeah, that and like the new like the kingdoms are starting to establish their settlements.
Mhm.
There's still trade and diplomacy between them, even if it might be a bit tenuous.
Nicholas asked about PvP between the two of us. I'm cool with it. I mean, like a part of Nico's character, I think, is more of the protag bait, where he is the nobleman who's been exiled, and a part of my character is going to be pushing him, but not too hard. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of manipulating, but not to his detriment, or trying not to, unless I'm really overconfident. Which even that alone, that's you could argue that's a matter. That's like a social PvP at that point.
Yeah.
Even if we're bound
by
the hit.
The social manipulation, it's like, oh, we'll be fine, I assure you. But
I love character versus character, no matter the game. Maybe one day I'll make one of these games that's like an explicit quest. That I'm like, everybody do the quest. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I love character versus character, so I'm down for that.
But the way I'm seeing it is like we might have known each other for like a short period of time already, but we have a working relationship, but like I'm probably not gonna give up my life like if his is in danger, if I can slip away. Like it's nothing like personal, no hard feelings sort of thing, but it's like, yeah, I'm still number one.
It's survival.
But like I'm not actively, trying to harm, wish for his demise, but if it comes to that point.
That's why I have to make you dead it to me so you feel otherwise.
Hey, gotta do what you gotta do.
And I have to make you feel like we're on the same page so you don't betray me.
We'll see. Right? That's
and hopefully there's not a ransom on my head.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm far enough away where we don't have to worry about that.
I'm gonna stop my camera for a second, but I'm still here. Keep talking.
If we die in session 1, then that's just proof that this should have been
hilarious.
Just dive into it.
It's just like 1 to 10 UNPC sessions set in Fantasy Australia.
I'm down with it.
It's not necessarily a bad that honestly just like it's almost like a miniseries, like a season of what is it called when it's episodic?
Yeah.
Like it's about the place at that point, not so much the individual characters, but like you do have those like narratives, like each episode. And if that is how it happens, that's not bad.
Like, Zach has a term for it. It's something OSRE. It's like it's the type of narrative that Conan follows. It's like episodic, but cheesy episodic kind of.
Or the pulp novel, or
pulpy episodic. I forget the term.
Pulpy. Yeah, I don't know.
It's like it's a very specific term that I'll dig up later.
Okay, I like that.
But it's episodic stories for characters of low moral value or something like that. Like just like episodic stories of just like raunchy jerkos like Conan, right?
I like that. I don't know if Nico's character will be that as much.
No, but he has to be at a certain point. Like the environment is going to facilitate him needing to be a certain way.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Just like the desperation. Maybe he was a bit more morally upright when he could be, but things might not necessarily like. I might have to give up a few morals just for the case of survival. As far as that goes, taking the opportunities. Like, I wouldn't go into this hostile landscape if I didn't have to. So you got to do what you got to do, and just
Yeah,
learning that
absolutely.
mentality,
I like that.
or maybe not able to learn that mentality.
So how do we want to? So we have like the approximations of the setting in mind. Do we have like how we want to actually, like, where we want to be out the gate?
I'll let you guys talk about that.
Presumably a local settlement, unless we want to, like, just
Yeah.
dive straight into the action if someone had something in mind. But
Yeah,
I think
I'm
just
down.
for introduction's sake, probably just starting in like a general one of these settlements that have been recently established.
Yeah, I like the idea of just having a settlement, and kind of similar to what we did before, David, with when you vetted me with Dash Against the Rocks, where it's settlement and kind of explore it a bit and see if you can't find some work, see what's going on here.
Yeah,
I think that makes. Go ahead.
So yeah, just adding on his, like, basically, like, our day to day, like, we've been doing this for a few months, just like our general routine, going out, maybe going to one of these local pubs, trying to hear rumors, or just trying to find that next score kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. I think it makes a lot of sense as a starting point. I think I prefer it to like starting on the boat.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you guys have been here for a few months anyway, I think.
Exactly.
So
yeah, we as appealing as it is to have the fucking Skyrim introduction, right? I think we can avoid that pop culture reference. Yeah. Also, the term I was thinking of was picaresque.
Picaresque. Okay. Yeah. That'll be easy to remember because of the Conan Picts. Picaresque. Okay. I don't think starting on the boat is necessarily a bad thing, but I did it one time in a play-by-post, and then immediately was like, I should have just started on the island.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, that way when we
3 days to get to the
yeah, I guess it really depends if, like, we wanted to more so facilitate our first meeting, or this is just like, kind of another day in the life sort of vibe.
I don't think I want to do the first meeting.
Yeah,
I think I did something very similar to that with we did something very similar to that in Atera with Nicholas's character and I in mind, where it was like we didn't just meet, but we basically had just been conscripted together and we were on the road, so like we didn't know what each other were about. I do like the idea, especially after all this discussion, that it is like a matter of like we've got to vibe.
So that working like relationship where it's like, okay, I know about him. I guess I trust this guy. Kind of have to at this point, just because I can't make it entirely by myself.
He's not flying any of the colors of any of the local settlements. He's an outsider here too. He's not a part of these empires, so he's just as alone as I am, kind of thing.
I think this is a good time to ask, do you guys want to flesh out more like your backgrounds of what kingdom you came from and why you're exiled and what you guys have done while you're on the island, or do you just kind of want to like 4D it in the game?
Mine will be very apparent if we just dive into it. I think this should be something I need to ask. I was thinking about being like not Japan, like not like playing the weeb, maybe not like a full blown samurai, or like a ninja, but like maybe like a Japanese or not Japanese pirate or something like that.
Okay, yeah. You thinking the same thing, Nico?
Sorry, I'm pulling up my notes, but like as far as the exile goes, I was thinking maybe perhaps not even him, but like, his family, like just minor nobles, they kind of put their lot in with like, maybe a claimant for his kingdom, perhaps seeking betterment or, seeking to elevate their station and instead losing it all. And I'm trying to figure out how invested or how prevalent my character might have been in that situation, or just how much agency he had in his situation. Because perhaps it's like, oh, well, I didn't make this choice, my family did, or I was just, my lord decided to rebel, and it's like, well, my honor is to my lord.
Mm-hmm.
I stuck with it, and being duty bound has cost me, and now I'm here. So
Right.
what was all that for?
Okay, so I'm not exactly, to be honest, I'm not
Yes,
sure
sir.
like what you meant by like claimant or those things. So you're saying like your kind of like royal family.
So, but like the English War of Roses or stuff like that, where someone else wants to be king,
Mm-hmm.
other like nobles who want to elevate their station and get better positions with this would-be king. It's like, okay, well, our current situation we're not really prospering in. Perhaps we
Okay.
should throw our lot in with this new person, and that's what my family might have done.
Oh, okay.
But we lost, and now we're dealing with the consequences.
I like that.
Oh, okay, I follow that. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I kind of like the. I know I just said that, not going giga weeb and doing a samurai, but there's the concept of like the Ronin or Ronin, where they a lot of the time a samurai will become Ronin as basically not necessarily like they're not like a forsaken cop, but like when you swear your life to a nobleman or to a noble family, and then that noble family is no longer a noble family, well, all of your oaths are now moot. So kill yourself. Well, I don't really want to do that. So
yeah,
I'm leaving. So I kind of like the idea that we could be two different kind of sides of a similar, like a different cultural conflict, where I was a bad cop. Like I was a samurai, and I was upholding, and I was doing everything my lord wanted me to do, but I was also just not a very good person. So now, when I was tasked to give my life, I was like, no, fuck that, I'm leaving. I'm not only here, but this character, I'm also just not a very nice person in general. Now that I don't have any oaths binding to me. So it could be like an interesting dark reflection where you're very family oriented. I was very duty oriented, despite being corrupt to duty, and now I'm let loose, quote unquote. That could be a very interesting reflection.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'll come up. It'll show naturally.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be very cool.
Yeah, and what I'm currently thinking of is just like the level of like agency that he might have had in the past, which might perhaps wasn't much. Maybe one of the younger sons, wasn't due to inherit, but still part of the household, sworn to it. But circumstances outside my control, here I am. I have to scrounge for a living. Just a complete upset of what he's used to, and now has to find out. It's like, okay, well, I can't just coast like I did. I'm not just back home doing what is needed of me for my elder brothers, my father, or whatever. I have to figure shit out.
Yeah, because your family wagered. Is that correct?
Yeah, they
Okay.
bet their chips on the wrong horse, kind of thing.
Okay. So it wasn't done out of. It wasn't anything malicious. It wasn't anything corrupt. It was simply, we thought this would have been a more prosperous.
Yeah. It's like, okay, well, we thought this this lost prince or this claimant. We thought, okay, well, things were going poorly, like currently, maybe outside of the current ruler's control, just famine, drought, stuff like that. But it's like, okay, well, maybe this other guy, maybe we have a better chance, or maybe my family was a bit more ambitious. Whatever it may be, or that was just like perk of it's like, okay, well, maybe they can fix our issues. Maybe the current king is corrupt, and this new guy, things will get better under him, right? And then the rebellion fails, and here we are.
Okay,
so that's my general idea.
That would be a very interesting reflection in these two characters, because they're both
very cool.
Both very different culture, different not only different culture, but cultures that were close enough, in like their structure, but like, you know, like I said, like a different reflection of one another, like a skewed reflection.
Yeah. Nicholas asked why this bottle is so tiny. It's not tiny. I'm just that big. He asked, what if both guys die session 1?
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah. It was like, oh, then this should have been an UFPC, and what we learned for next session. Well, we'll be super episodic and just roll up characters and go nuts. And that's like the big thing with OSR. Right?
It is what it ended up because these stats could be better.
So
I got a couple 12s in there. That's my.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
those are good.
I ain't getting none. I got 114.
That's good.
As far as like
language,
you guys are talking about like stats and things. As far as like challenge, I was thinking of kind of using a table I came up with to determine how challenging like an encounter might be. And it won't change from level to level. It's whatever's out there is out there. But I figured it would help me keep more common things more common, and the really strong things is like hard to encounter or rare to encounter.
No, sometimes you get unlucky.
Yeah,
be like that.
It could have. You
just gotta address the situation.
Is it like are you talking about like an index card RPG kind of thing, where it's like this entire encounter is hard, like everything is because of the essence of what's going on here?
No, just the creature that you encounter. Because I'm imagining there's gonna be lots of creatures out in the wilderness.
Do you mean like having like a template, like this is a CR quote unquote system, like a simplified CR system almost?
Yeah. So I was looking at the ShadowDark monsters as I'll probably make my own, but use them as a basis.
Right.
And I realized the ones I'm interested in are from level 2 to 9.
Sure.
Which doesn't map exactly to character level, but yeah.
But they introduce interesting complications that anybody with a brain could engage with, and like you know what I mean, like it, like the numbers of the monsters, whatever. I like that it's a mind flayer, and I like that it eats brains. Can we tackle this idea? Yeah. You know, I want to see what the group will do with this monster. Is that what you mean?
I guess so.
So are you trying these encounters to be more purely like combat encounters, or perhaps just meeting other people along the way, or just like challenges like a chasm or something like that?
Right.
Not necessarily combat, whatever you guys do with it. I was thinking specifically for creatures. And maybe this roll is not even needed, but I was kind of thinking of rolling like a D100 roll, and like 1 to 50 is a level 2, 51 to 75 is a level 3, and so on and so on, up until like a smaller and smaller range is like level 9 or something.
And this would generate and pick the monster, or is this going to change the monsters? Like, is this going to scale the monster's stats differently?
No, it'll like generate the monster.
Generate. Okay, cool. I see what you mean.
Yeah, just so again, it's probably not needed, but it was just an idea I had. I was like, it'll
I guess for inspiration,
a way to keep me fair in a way. Although it's a high trust table, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things where if you don't have a monster, I guess monster of the week almost in mind or whatever it is, like you just rolling that die for inspiration. Honestly, it's like, oh well, I really want them to encounter this. And
fairness. The only thing fairness that comes in this conversation, the only thing that applies to fairness is like, if we were told that there were no clues indicating that this ludicrous monster was going to be here, and we tried to do research, and everything led to us believing that this was going to be the case, but then we got a fast one pulled on us, and no, it's actually this. Like, oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. I see what
Yeah,
you're
that wouldn't feel as good. And it's like you want to just kill us, let us know.
Yeah, I won't do something like that. Yeah. I'm not interested in that. I just want to see what happens, you know?
Yeah, no, what happens kind of thing. And I'm fine with that. It's just like, as he said, like, as long as it's like, oh, okay, so no warning. Okay, now there's like, wall behind her
16
back. And it's like,
T-Rexes.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
I
just a
guess with
velociraptor
the
comes up.
percentile roll idea, I shouldn't be worried about fairness as much, because we all trust each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Just
think
want to
it's
see what
fine.
happens. It's more so just like more believable, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a random encounter, so it's a situation of not every single random encounter is you are in one blank room with this monster, fight. No, it's randomly encountering a T-Rex. We hear it. Like,
yeah,
there are
exactly
giant piles of shit. That's the encounter.
Yeah, it's like, okay,
yeah,
we're gonna encounter a T-Rex. We gotta leave.
and we happen to be in the jungle. Okay, maybe we can get in the thick of it, like where it can't quite reach us, or just use the environment to our advantage. But what I think Dom had like an anecdote or for one of like the UNPCs like earlier, he like told me regarding like clues and stuff. I forget what it was, but it's like the similar like, yeah, I don't remember either. Was it the hacker UNPC one?
It was last night with Uriah's UNPC. I really liked the confusion that happened, where were you talking about the enemy hackers that they didn't know they were enemy hackers? Is that the anecdote you were thinking of?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
so it was in the game. I don't remember it vividly, but it was like they hacked into a system. I think their goal in hacking the system was just opening up like a firewall or a real wall or like an actual door for them to proceed with their job. When they successfully made the roll to do so, explosions started going off in the facility, and they thought in the moment, because the alarms started going apeshit, they thought in the moment that them opening the door was some kind of, or the firewall, whatever they're breaking into, was a failsafe that they did not account for that Uriah introduced. But at the end of the game, and they reacted accordingly based off of this limited knowledge. But then at the end of the game, Uriah apologized and was like, "Oh, I should have been more clear that no, that was a remote enemy hacker group that was also invading, but from their safe remote location." And that's cool that was like the reality, quote unquote, that was going on. But in the moment, that doesn't matter because these characters are in fight or flight. They have to fucking deal with the job now because now they're on high alert. So
yeah. Well, they don't know what they don't know. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the reality.
I don't know if it necessarily needed to be more clear.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought that was like cool. Like with the 4D, it's like you're not going to like have this like meta knowledge and stuff, but as long as the DM is like being fair about it, like this can be running on in the background as long as it's like not retroactively, I guess retroactively being like tampered with. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but like
it's
there
the
are
reality
things going
of
on
the
without
characters.
our knowledge. Simple as that. Just aspects outside of our control.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. For sure.
And that compares to like the random encounter situation because it's all going to be very case by case, and we have to react accordingly.
Yeah. Man, like as you said, like in the moment of okay, we were anticipating this. It was exactly what we expected. We carry out our plan. Or B, it's like, oh, okay, this thing looks a bit meaner than we were thinking of. It hasn't noticed us yet.
Yeah.
Let's hightail it and rethink our options.
Yeah, the village got it wrong. It's a different kind of dinosaur.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
Or the dinosaur we were hunting got eaten by a bigger dinosaur.
It is now a zombie dinosaur.
Nicholas does bring up a good topic about language. How much should we care about language?
Okay, I think if there's people on this island that have been just living there for a long time, there's no way they'd be speaking the same language.
Well, depending on how long we've been interacting, or the local communities, or
Local kingdoms.
the new arrivals, these new settlements, depending on how long they've been interacting with the locals, just how long they've been established. It's just a couple decades, 50 years, or maybe even the very beginnings of these new settlements, maybe within the last decade, depending on how you feel regarding that. But
I don't know, but I think anywhere between 50 and 10 years sounds in the ballpark to me.
Yeah, enough where we're not good. Oh, especially as new arrivals. Yeah, we're not going to know the local languages, but there will be interpreters, and
there will be.
some of the bureaucrats might be able to just speak the basic language, of the natives, and vice versa. They can at least carry a basic conversation, or convey simple ideas well enough. So and kind of going back where it's there's enough diplomacy and trade, though we might be wary of each other, these two or the various cultures.
So,
but there's still communication to a point.
So we're going to take a more realistic approach to the language, as opposed to, I know lizard folk.
Yeah,
I have never interacted with this island or folks before.
Well, also
now I speak with them.
As far as the languages that you roll up with your class or whatever, I would say just ignore that. You know the common tongue, and then there's the native tongue.
I'm thinking keeping it realistic. There's probably the Anglo.
It'd be dialects even, because if we're coming from foreign kingdoms, depending on which kingdom set up these these settlements, we might not be as fluent in these, but also when it comes to different dialects, depending on how much you really want to break it down, they can be similar enough, various German languages, and you have to playing off to Dutch, and then mixing with
Give me
English
1 second,
and all
guys.
that. Go ahead.
Sorry, y'all can keep going if you want, but
I think earlier we brought up your culture, Nico. What were you thinking of, a not German, not if I'm doing not Japan, what were you feeling?
I don't know, for ease of it, I was thinking just kind of not France, not England, which would be it, or not German, just that general central northern European, just for ease of it, unless I figure something out down the line between now and first session.
I like it.
Just communicate that.
I kind of want to be I do like the idea of being the exotic asshole, even here, kind of thing, among the other French settlers. So
yeah,
I like it.
But yeah, I'll probably just try to brainstorm ideas just within the week, trying to figure out if there is another culture to take some inspiration from, because French, English done to death kind of thing, but that is just the generic understanding when it comes to medieval fantasy, or just in general.
Absolutely.
Nicholas says the Portuguese would grab a bum from Lisboa's streets, drop him in the Amazon for a few months, so when they'd come back, he could translate for them.
That's not me.
That ain't me, man. All right.
I really like all the gold that those natives have, though. That's really cool.
Yes, sir. Casually wearing gold necklaces and things.
It's gonna get real bad real quick.
All that gold's gonna make me act up. All that my sweat.
You're gonna put your character portrait. It's just the guy from Pocahontas.
Oh,
John Rolfe, big guy.
The big guy, yeah. Okay, John Rolfe.
I think it's John Rolfe.
Okay.
Gold member, but that's either or.
I don't speak German neither. I'm here for money. Money.
All right. The only other thing mechanically I wanted to talk about was turn order. I guess with only 2 players, it doesn't matter as much, but I like to be more strict with turn order.
Mhm.
Not necessarily rolling initiative, just staying round robin order.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
okay, but the thing is,
I liked your. I think it's interesting. The you don't really have a turn as the GM, but at any point you can interrupt.
Yeah, like if I'm role playing a monster, then that will have a turn on my turn.
Sure.
Yeah.
If I'm role playing a second monster, I'll probably put that one in between y'all.
Yeah.
And just keep it that way.
Yeah.
Flow. But other than role playing combat or whatever, I don't really have a turn. I just interject. Yeah. And usual 4D-isms of keeping your turn short and have lots of turns.
Successes and failures. Do we want to player describe successes, GM describe failures?
Either that or for me, we can go. Well, for me, what I like is rather than going by success or failure, going by who did the thing.
Right.
So whether you succeed or fail in swinging your hammer, I'd rather you describe
who initiated it.
Yeah, the initiator. If it's your turn, then you get to do your thing.
But
that's my thought.
But in static circumstances, I guess we could rationalize it as the world acting against the player, if you want to think of it like that. Or the player, if you want to think of it like that, as the GM describing failure. The GM isn't describing failure. The GM is describing the world acting against the player's failure.
Yeah. The reaction of whether it is the world, if it is like, an animate object, or the monster, or the person, whoever we're interacting with, whether it be in a combat or not.
You fail to leap the chasm. The world is not going to impose gravity against you.
Let me check the gravity rules. Yeah. Okay.
If that's kind of the vibe. If that's the way we should think about it.
Okay. So you're saying more of static kind of things.
Yeah, because ShadowDark as it is DC based or AC based.
Yeah.
It's not roll under.
So yeah, if you if the trap springs and you fail the check, I would say the arrow pierces you.
Right.
Or what if you're trying to, that's the world acting against you. Okay. What if you're trying to push a boulder and you fail? Would you rather me say it doesn't budge, or would you rather just say like you already know if you pass or fail? So would you rather just be like, it's too tough for me? I do a
strain, but no matter how much of my body, just trying to put my legs to do it, I just can't seem to manage the budget.
I think it's case by
case. If you have anything to elaborate on,
case by case.
Yeah, case by like Nico just said, elaborating on. So it's like case by case where if it's something like, no, this roller is gonna fucking roll into you now. This shit's heavy.
Yeah.
Then you, instead of giving me the air to say, let's not get wily coyote, right? That's what we want to avoid.
Maybe I managed to dislodge it, but I fail in the fact that I'm not in control anymore.
There you go.
Yeah.
Pushing it, in the case of the failure that the world's acting upon you, it's like you pushed it forward a bit, but enough for it to be dislodged, and it is now rolling into you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So if it is something where the reality of the situation in your attempt needs to be kind of amplified in resolution by the GM, then I'm okay with you interrupting and not giving the air for us to describe the failure.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I got it. Very cool.
You're keeping the same. I like it though. I see what you mean. Like in the case of statics, yeah, sure. If the player really wants to begin describing the failure, but
Yeah, I feel the rope snap, like as
Yeah.
I trigger like the trap or something.
But then if going back to your rule on GM being able to interrupt, I feel I push, but the boulder doesn't budge, and you can interject, and with that slight push, the boulder is dislodged and it begins to roll backwards. So
Towards you.
There's that always that opportunity for interruption, which I do like.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
It's interesting.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
Yep. So generally speaking, players or the rollers, the
initiators,
the initiator, describes success and failures. GM always has the opportunity to
elaborate,
clarify, elaborate, expand on, interrupt. I think is the big word there.
Yeah.
Mm. Saying, well, actually, yeah.
Avoiding that.
No. Okay. Yeah. Something I like about this setting is, with all the crazy stuff out there, gives me more opportunity to throw pushes at you than I normally would want to do. Because my default is like I like to sit back and see what you guys do and then just facilitate it. But then also there's this whole wild land out there. I want to make some stuff pop up.
Mm-hmm.
Some of you may die, but that is the sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Yeah.
Wait, as I said earlier, if this does turn into the episodic, it's like, all right, now to these protagonists of the next episode.
Yep. Just doing
That's how it is.
Rotating around the island of all the other bases.
Yeah.
Right.
And then these guys.
If everybody keeps dying too quickly, then we don't have to do a session 0 every time. We can just maybe do a mini session 0 before the game.
A big portion of this was the setting, and I think we came together and made a pretty cool
setting tones, how we're going to approach it, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
The basics.
Yeah, making it so that there's plenty of agency to be had here, without and keeping quote unquote true to the treasure hunting elements of OSR stuff, but also, having an environment for functional characters.
Yeah.
People.
What about climate and weather? Now, there's some magic here, so there could be exceptions, but are you mainly imagining the island as this tropical, temperate, forest?
I think we're
jungle.
Like jungle, like if we are, if like temperate Europe or whatever's our just baseline, having the jungle or vice versa, and also kind of go back to the I guess the magical like dead zones, or maybe even magical not radii, but like just interference zones. Maybe there is like accelerated like plant growth, or that of the like creatures themselves was like mutated because of what has happened here in the past. Potentially dealing with whatever cataclysm had shattered the empire that was once on this island.
Didgeridoos or ukuleles?
Huh?
The Nicholas was like, do they have didgeridoos or ukuleles? I was gonna make the joke, was like, I can't think of a tropical island. What am I talking about? Like a volcano has drums.
I could see lots of drums used for communication across vast distances, for sure.
So we're I do like the meme of we're just stuffing Hawaii and Australia together. You have the fucked up fauna of Australia, and you have the vibes, the tropical nature of Hawaii.
Well, yeah, the Aboriginal,
but also
Australia as well.
Yeah,
but also temperate.
Well, that's where my
that's where you're
coming from.
Yeah.
Okay. So
if we're trying to, this is a very foreign land to us.
It's more tropical and wild.
Or maybe I'm from more of tundra, maybe more of a northern Europe.
Okay.
You want to do that? And I'll probably figure that out. Brainstorming.
Okay. I also, Dom, I like how you're saying you're from not Japan, but I'm imagining a not Japan in Europe, which is a cool idea. Of course, it's all a made up world anyway, but I don't know.
I think it's called China.
China.
Close enough.
There you
Uh,
go.
yeah, a lot of ancient China is really fucking cool. I just don't know anything about it.
I don't either.
They've got a lot of really cool weapons that are like you don't see them a lot in everybody knows what the katana, right? But there are the Chinese equivalent are all really dope.
Yeah, that's true. I think my favorite area of history to study is like a early colonization, like conquistadors and that. South America, those things, natives, and I've been in like multiple campaigns that have that kind of vibe, and I'm gonna do more in the future with that kind of vibe, and I don't get tired of it. I love it. Tribal, new world, sweltering jungles, all of that. I love it. Okay, I'm excited. I don't know what else to go over. That might be it, honestly.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Everything else looks pretty good. I mean, I don't again. So I've never played ShadowDark myself. I like how the encumbrance works, where we're going off the 4D trust of don't fucking have Skyrim pockets, but also, you have 10 or higher items you can have.
Oh yeah, we're on the time. Sorry, let me bring it back up. But like starting gear and stuff, I guess whatever makes sense to have had access to. Or I'm sorry, I'm looking through it now.
It gives you money. You have starting money. All you can do with that.
Okay, I think because I saw like a fairly small table that had like some basic stuff.
Yeah.
All right. I think I also need to do the what is it? The traits or talents.
Oh, I remember something. Go back to the special effects.
Oh, right.
I'd rather. I could say, like, if you beat it by 5 or more, I could say success special. I'd rather not say special, like, you know if you beat it by 5 or more, so you just do it. And if you forget, I could remind you just quickly. I could just quickly say special, or you guys could remind me if I forget. Just, oh, you have a special. Oh,
I think that'll be. I would prefer a similar situation of the interruptions, where you have told us the AC. If we are able to remember whether or not we hit, then don't tell us again. Like don't if we leave like a air for there to be interjected, then yeah, absolutely remind us. Otherwise, keep the flow going. I swing. I come at him this way. I lacerate his underarm, disabling it. You know what I mean? Disabling his left arm from the special. I like not emphasizing. If we are able to flow seamlessly, then keep it going. I like I think that the declaration of AC, like declaration of DC, would be required for this kind of game. So I think beyond that, let it flow from there.
Okay. Are you saying even if someone forgets they have a special, don't remind them?
Remind them.
If it hasn't been brought up. Yeah, I think he was what he was saying.
Yeah.
Okay. I got
you. I see what you mean. Like, so if I forget that I'm 5 over their AC, honestly, don't. I would recommend. I'd rather you not. Like, if we forgot, AC,
you're right.
We forgot that it was a special attack because the character's just being conservative. Sorry.
Yeah. There you go. You snooze or you lose.
Yeah.
And for me too.
We have it on record. We can look back and critique our gameplay after the fact. But whether or not you hit, I think that's the important part, and that can be reminded.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if I'd want to include like, oh, you get a special so you can 4D something. I think it's more like something that your character does rather than you get to add an outside force.
It's not a reward, yeah.
Does that sound right? Yeah.
Something I was playing with for RuneQuest, looking around because I know that UNPC is the same way, where if you get a critical, then you're encouraged. You don't have permission. You're encouraged to now 4D within reason. Something I was thinking about for RuneQuest, just in general, success leads to the gateway. Like if you want to 4D something like about the world, then succeed on the Arcana check. That is now your permission as a player to introduce something in the world. You could still be wrong, but it's something that your character now knows.
I do like that. I mean, I like the idea. Just heavy 4D. You can introduce something just all the time.
I think for ShadowDark, I think just having the ability at any point is fine. Because this game is not a RuneQuest Mithras game where you have all those skills.
Yeah.
Any criticism,
Yeah.
Nico?
I had to think about that one. And like you said, it doesn't always mean you're right, but
Exactly. Any criticism?
No. And also, since we're, kind of building the setting as we go, it makes sense to, have those add-ons, like, as we go.
Mm-hmm.
We're playing a little fast and loose.
Yeah. And it is of course, it's like you've been mentioning, David, where it's the matter of like, well, we trust each other not to be stupid and fucking introduce non-thematic things.
do you guys want to play with images? You could upload some images, maybe creatures or people or things. I've never done that before.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. It's a very... Yes, Nico?
Actually, I think Dom and I were talking about this earlier. If it's just easier to do so, like it's a very like complex thing to like explain, sometimes just doing so through an image is easier.
It's an old genreism that I've internalized, where if this is a super detailed creature, flash the image, move on, keep going. You could have done this so much faster with just an image. Maybe talk about the scale of the creature, but beyond that, show the image or the person.
Yeah. I don't know what it almost feels like cheating to me in my brain. But no, I don't think it's cheating. It's just I have the feeling I have for some reason. I think I might save it for creatures specifically.
Yeah. I felt really good about what I was doing with UNPC, where for characters and creatures, I would have pictures, a good handful to describe a rotating app. I would have images for the creatures, but I would have like one image per session of the environment, because generally with that game, it was very episodic in that we knew exactly what we were doing that game. It was a little pre-described, but it kind of had to be. Like the last game, we knew that it was going to be a PvP in a school. We think that was it. So we kind of cheated in a bit of a way there, but I had that one environment for the set piece that it was happening.
Yeah, very nice, very nice.
So whatever you want to do, I don't think there's anything wrong with images.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll need to juggle images and displaying armor classes. And if it's too much, then I'll just stop doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because flow is more important.
Yeah.
But I'd like to do that.
And you don't necessarily have to display armor classes, at least as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. That's
You
also
hit or you don't.
Yeah, I could just announce it once and then
Yeah.
you remember it.
Yep.
I'm probably not going to put
Or miss.
well, I was going to say, I usually just like to put one monster anyway, so you won't forget the AC. But you never know. Could be a whole tribe of people that you pissed off.
These guys have shields. These don't. These wearing armor. These aren't.
Yeah, even then, even if there's like 50 people chasing
Yeah,
you
I think
for
as soon
God
as we
knows
get
what
above
reason.
4, we really screwed up.
Yeah,
Now we're at the
it doesn't matter
prologue
anymore.
of Raiders of the Last Ark.
Yeah.
Start the play.
Yeah. Even if, it wouldn't matter the AC. Even if it did, I'd be like, this half has 11, this half has 13. Or I'd just say they all have 11 or something.
Mhm.
Okay, so that solves itself. When in doubt, roleplay solves everything. I
Yep.
think we're good to go. Like I was saying before, schedule's irregular, so we'll have to determine week by week if we can play,
Mhm.
I'll let you guys know as soon as I can.
Yeah, this will be. I'm excited. This is going to be real cool.
You put whatever music you want in the another tab if you want to.
What are those, Alex? What are those, like old Japanese? They're not guitars, but they're like not lutes. They play them with fans.
What the fuck are you
Are you talking about the rectangular?
Yeah.
Is that a shamisen?
I think
That
they
is
make
a
a form of
shaman.
harp. Are they a form of like harp or something like that?
Yeah, shamisens. You got it.
Fans. What the fuck are you talking about?
It looks like they play them with
They play
fans.
them with their hands.
No, they got these little fans.
It's like a fan.
I thought they used like picks.
Yeah.
Um,
But they fan out at the tip.
Yes, yeah. They play it with their
I have no clue what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
It
just
looks-
having shamisen music play. It's just my ambient thoughts.
It looks like a scraper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, gotta get the gum off my guitar here.
Yeah. You lost your pick, so you just found something in the garage. There you go. All right, guys. All right, chat. I think that's enough. Thank you for people that are actually watching. I don't even watch Session Zeros myself, so there's more people watching than I expected. So thank you.
Night night.
I think we'll sign off.
See you soon.
Good night.